Hello, I'm Kathryn Dickerson. I'm an attorney at SmolenPlevy, and we are discussing the complications that couples are now facing who have gone through the in vitro process using unknown sperm donors. The interesting wrinkle when it comes to having children with an unknown sperm donor is that you don't know how many other people have accessed that sperm donor, have used that sperm donor's contributions to have children. So unlike adoption, where you have a limited number of children, a limited number of siblings in one family, you can have any number of siblings throughout the country. Well, the problem that's starting to occur now is that these children are coming of age where they're dating and they're thinking about marriage. We recently passed a milestone in that the first child conceived through in vitro fertilization turned 30. So this is a new generation of children who are coming up, who have been assisted, whose births have been assisted through this process. And as this becomes an easier process, as this becomes a process that more parents are accessing so that they may have children, we have a number of siblings out there who do not know that they're siblings, who may be meeting one another. When parents use an anonymous sperm donor, they go to a facility that assigns those donors numbers. Those are their donor identification numbers. The donors are not identified in any other fashion. And so that's the number that the parents have to keep safe so that if their children in the future want to compare numbers with a potential spouse who was also a product of the IVF process, they have that number to ensure that they're not siblings. Legally, this is an issue because we need to ensure that when we have guardians appointed, when we have people who the parents want to take care of their children should something happen to them, that those guardians have the donor identification number so that in the future, if the children were to date or marry and their spouse, their fiancé, was also a child of the IVF process, they can compare their donor numbers to ensure that they are not siblings. Interestingly, these parents, they don't necessarily want to tell their children that they were children who were born through the use of the IVF process, but they're finding that they're going to have to. Because if these children marry, they're going to be marrying their genetic sibling. And there are a number of biological issues that come to bear when that happens. And so parents have to plan, and they have to make sure that they maintain the donor number, because there are donor banks that are being set up, donor networks, so that if children find that they are both children who were born through the IVF process, they can compare their donor numbers to ensure that they are not genetic siblings. This becomes also further complicated when parents are planning for who will take care of their children, naming guardians of their children should they pass away, because they need to ensure that these guardians that they appoint have the donor number. Well, the legal ramifications also come from parents not wanting their children to know that they were born of the IVF process, that they don't want to tell their children that until such time as potentially they get divorced. Then one parent wants to tell the child that and the other parent does not. And that is a very contentious issue amongst parents. This is coming up when there's marital difficulty, and the parents can either agree that they will not tell the child, or that they will tell the child together, or else if they can't agree, one parent, the parent who wants to tell the child that IVF was involved, will do so, and there's nothing, unfortunately, that the other parent can do about it. There may be some need for regulation, especially with regard to egg donation. There is no tracking of egg donors at this time, at least not in the same way as there are for sperm donors. I tell them to make sure that they have the donor identification number, to safeguard it in some place where they know that they can access it when they need it. This should not be a piece of paper that slips through the cracks that you can't find because you don't know whether the facility will be around at the time where the child might need the number. Also, they need to ensure when they do their estate planning documents, when they do their wills and trusts, that the person they elect to be guardian of their children, should something happen to them, know where this document is and know that the child was conceived and born through with the assistance of the IVF process. I'm Kathryn Dickerson, a partner at SmolenPlevy. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me at 703-790-1900 or email me at kndickerson@smolenplevy.com.